It's day 8 of stellar softball here in Greenville, North Carolina, and we expect the same in our championship game. This week, 9 shutouts, 8 one-run games. We've had 7 come from behind wins, 3 walk-offs, and a couple of home runs, and almost 17,000 people have watched it live here in Greenville, and we are so honored to bring you our championship game. Let's go. Courtney Lau alongside 2-time All-American Amanda Scarborough, 2-time Olympic gold medalist Michelle Smith. Chris Budden is also with us. And yes, we got 2 pitchers here. They are so excited about this pitching matchup. Let's start with Indiana. And how good has Briley Mercer been in the circle?
She has been outstanding, and they call her Big Game Briley because she can throw in big moments. In fact, they've had to win multiple elimination games. And what has she done? 36 strikeouts. She's given up just 1 earned run in those 5 games. She's just been stellar around the plate, leading this team from the circle. Briley has been a superstar at this Little League World Series.
Yeah, if you take it back to regionals, Michelle, this Floyd Snobs Community Club Little League has won 6 elimination games this summer, and they'll try to win the biggest game of them all today. But Pennsylvania is saying, not so fast. We've got an ace in the circle, too.
So there's only one thing better than 1 earned run given up as a pitcher. It's 0 earned runs given up as a pitcher, and that's what Reagan Bills has done at the 2020-2025 Little League Softball World Series, where she has just given up 1 run total. That was way back in the first game. They played 3 games since then, and she has thrown 3 shutouts, had 44 strikeouts in 4 games. This is the absolute best summer that she has pitched in her entire life, and now she gets to pitch and show that emotion in the championship game.
Yeah, more strikeouts for her than any other pitcher, and 3 games in the World Series. She has had double-figure strikeouts for this PA team out of Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania will be the home team. That means Indiana will bat first. So let's meet the team from Floyd Snobs, Indiana.
My name's Scarlett Rand, and my favorite app is TikTok.
My name's Izzy Campbell, and my favorite food is teriyaki wings.
My name is Reese Carroll, and my favorite softball team is Oklahoma University.
My name's Olivia Kolish, and my favorite singer is SZA.
My name is Grace Fiore, and my favorite animal is a dolphin.
My name is Briley Mercer. My favorite actor is Michael B. Jordan.
My name is Aubrey Whittemore, and my favorite candy is Mini Sweet Tarts.
Hi, I'm Sawyer Abel, and my favorite band's Old Dominion.
Hi, I'm Drew Drummond, and my favorite athlete is Peyton Drummond.
My name is Kennedy Nichols. My favorite candy is Sour Patch Kids.
My name is Kylan Despain, and my favorite subject is math.
My name is Kylie Ramsey, and my favorite actor is Adam Sandler.
That is the team from Indiana, Floyd Snobs, Indiana. In Little League, we use a continuous batting order, so everybody on your roster shows up on your lineup card. For Indiana, it'll be 1 through 12 today, and Sawyer Abel will be at the top of that batting order. She gets the first look at Reagan Bills, and we are about to start our championship game. Takes the first pitch and bunts it back to Reagan Bills. And for both of these teams, we started about an hour later than we thought. Rain coming down, so maybe a little more time for those nerves to build up for the championship?
Possibly, but I think a lot of them were in the stands just hanging out with family before they went back on the field. I thought that was pretty cool because I don't think I would have been able to do that at this age. I would have been too nervous.
Yeah. Kudos to the field crew for flipping this field and getting us ready with the rain that we have come through. Here's Scarlett Wren, the second baseman for this Indiana team this week. They came out, their first game was on Monday. They lost to North Carolina, who was the defending World Series champion. So they've had to win 4 elimination games. And the leap in the air from Layla Schilling. Mansour in center. 2 down.
Really quick outs for Reagan Bills in the circle. You know that she loves that. And Schilling Mansour goes up to get it. Great timing for that reach. It could be tricky right there in between her and the left fielder, but she secures the out. And Reagan Bills, you're going to see that big smile and that emotion all game long. She is an absolute joy to watch compete in the circle.
Yeah, and her teammates feed off of that energy that she brings. 2 down for Grace Fiore. And a first pitch strike delivered from Reagan Bills.
Well, Michelle, we've seen Reagan Bills throw. I mean, you've seen her throw for a couple of weeks now, from the regional to here, but all different types of variations of her curveball. She'll throw a backdoor, which is an inside curveball that starts at a right-handed hitter and breaks across the inside corner. And a regular curveball like that.
And that's elite level stuff, as you know, Amanda. I mean, we call college games all the time. At this age level, you don't always see the movement pitches, and she definitely has honed those. Oh, and by the way, a really good changeup. And the trademark mask that's a little crooked on her face.
I was going to say, that's become a staple for her, right? As soon as you see her in the circle, she's got her face mask just a little bit crooked. And a first base umpire is going to come over and talk to Reagan Bills in the circle. All of our umpires are volunteers, and they have worked their hardest this week. This is our 22nd game of the week, guys, over the last 8 days.
It's been some amazing softball for these young ladies.
Well, and I think that her face mask kind of gets a little wonky because of how hard that she cheers for every out. I think that because her head's getting into it, she's yelling for her teammates, celebrating every out and success for this team. I think it stays just a little bit off kilter there, but it's awesome.
So amazing.
I mean, she struck out 44. I think it's working.
Yes.
Leave it crooked.
100%.
She was allowed just 1 run, and it was unearned this week over 4 games. Now a 2-2 coming to Grace Fiore, the shortstop for Indiana. You see the emotion, you see the fist pump. 3 up, 3 down.
Reagan Bills has been a superstar in this Little League World Series. Another strikeout, 45 on the week. It's getting some love from Adeline Haynes, her catcher. This battery, they're sharp.
The Little League Softball World Series on ESPN is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. Minnie Mouse in the house throwing out the first pitch. Pennsylvania is going to grab the bats. Let's meet the team from Johnstown, PA.
My name is Camilla Gaunt, and my favorite athlete is Monica Abbott.
My name is Aubrey Baxter. My favorite food is steak.
My name is Sadie DeVito, and my favorite actor is Tom Cruise.
My name is Kendall Schilling, and my favorite singer is Ed Sheeran. My name is Reagan Bills, and my favorite athlete is Montana Fouts.
My name is Kennedy Faze. My favorite athlete is Kobe Bryant.
My name is Mark Keefe. My favorite team is Tennessee.
My name is Layla Schilling Mansour, and my favorite actor is Adam Sandler.
My name is Haley Shepard, and my favorite food is crab legs.
My name is Nevaeh Worthington, and my favorite team is Texas A&M.
My name is Adeline Hines, and my favorite singer is Olivia Rodrigo.
My name is Mallory Baylor, and my favorite singer is Billie Eilish.
Johnstown, PA. Pennsylvania has won 1 championship at this event. It was back in 1978. Here is the continuous batting order for Pennsylvania, 1 through 12. Camilla Gaunt will lead off against Briley Mercer. 0 runs allowed in her last 20 innings pitched.
She's been great in the circle. I mean, you can't say enough about these young ladies that have controlled the zone. How about her favorite athlete is Mia Scott, the third baseman for the national champs, Texas Longhorns. But she also has great movement, Amanda. I mean, for this changeup, the curveball that she throws.
Yeah, it's interesting that both of these pitchers really rely on that curveball being their go-to pitch for each of them.
For Indiana, it was interesting. They had a decision to make looking at extra innings in their last game. If they left Briley Mercer in, there would be a chance if she pitched 7 innings that she wouldn't be available. So her teammate Grace Fiore picked up yesterday for her. helped them get the win so she could be back in the circle.
And that was huge.
Strikeout to the first batter and a little smile on her face. That's kind of rare for Briley.
Yeah. They call her BGB because it's Big Game Briley, and she has just thrown so well. Pitch on the outer half, takes a little off that, gets that movement. Look at the way that changeup is just going to float to the outer half, picks up first strikeout of the game.
And she doesn't show quite as much emotion like you see from Reagan Bills, but I did see a little smile, and I did see a slap with the glove after that changeup for the strikeout. A little bit more than what we're used to seeing from her.
Here she is facing Reagan Bills in the box, who hits in the 2 spot and carried a big bat yesterday. Got a key hit, a key RBI for them.
Ooh. Using that changeup early and often here in this first inning.
Yeah. It painted the outside corner with it, with their curveball and change.
Right over the head of Mercer, and it took a hop in the dirt away from the shortstop. Reagan Bills on first.
I feel like Briley Mercer's going to give a different look in this championship game with how much she's going inside. Jams up Bills, and it had crazy spin coming off of her bat because of the spin that Mercer puts on the pitch. And so it takes this right turn away from Fiore. Nothing she can do about that. Just insane spin to get away from her.
Adeline Hines, foul ball. Well, let's meet Adeline Hines, the catcher for Pennsylvania, presented by Uncrustables. Her favorite athlete is Reese Atwood, Texas catcher. Favorite song, Inner Sandman, fantastic. And she hopes to be a physical therapist someday. How good has she been behind the plate catching Reagan Bills?
Incredible. I mean, the same emotion. You know, she parrots it back to her pitcher, which is so important. But framing pitches, keeping balls in the dirt in front of her, just directing traffic, just so fun.
You can tell that Reagan has so much trust in her that she can put the ball anywhere, and Hines is going to be able to stop it. She can throw her changeup in the dirt, and Hines is going to get dirty. She can miss her spot and know that Hines is going to be there for her to have her back. It's a beautiful relationship between both of them.
Oh, and I love the fact that they hit 2 and 3 in the order.
She's trying to back up Reagan Bills right now with her bat. Bills at first via a hit. Her 4th hit of the World Series.
Oh, now she gets herself in a leverage count at 3-1.
I think a changeup might be coming.
I was just going to say, I think this would be a good time for Mercer to throw it. She's thrown it for a strike already early here, so I would.
There it is.
We got the pitcher brain working with this pitcher's duel. And with the way that that pitch has looked early, why not go back to it even again? Back-to-back changeups possibly as she gets strike number 2 with that changeup to work it to a full count.
Have you guys done this before? First time?
Boom.
Wow. Back to back.
And again, a little smile.
Oh, so fun. They have just been able to throw these pitches on command, so you can start calling pitches with them because you know what they're going to throw, what they have confidence in. And look at that second strikeout for Mercer, both with her changeup.
The other thing she's been great at is that pressure back up against the wall. Majority of her strikeouts coming with runners on base.
2 outs here, so you can use a courtesy runner for the pitcher or the catcher. So Adeline Hines is the last recorded out, and she's the catcher, so she has to come run, though, for the pitcher.
Yeah.
Typical catcher helping out a pitcher, taking the load off of her some way, somehow, as per the usual.
Nevaeh Worthington, the first baseman, steps in. I am interested to see this Pennsylvania offense today because yesterday I felt like they came out with a bang in that game against Oklahoma and right out the gate where they were a lot more aggressive at the plate.
Yeah, this is a team that hitting 250 in the tournament. Has a couple of base hits. They've got some power. They've got some doubles. So we're going to try to get a ball in the gap, see if they can't make something happen here in this bottom of the first.
They got that win 4-0 over Oklahoma yesterday to make it to today's championship game. Now you see their first 3 games, and then what they did in one game against Oklahoma yesterday.
Well, and it's fun because these two teams haven't matched up yet. We've seen some rematches because they stayed on their side of the bracket, an orange bracket and a purple bracket. They stayed on those sides, and now the winner of those brackets are meeting up in the championship game. So the first time that these two teams have seen each other. Well, big shakeoff for Mercer here. Did not want the pitch call.
Good job by Worthington to call timeout.
Back into Mercer's glove, and Pennsylvania will leave a runner on. No score in our championship game after an inning. No score in our championship game at the Little League Softball World Series. And Chris Button, Reagan Bills started this game with a 9-pitch inning.
Yeah, what a performance she has had all series. And she, like so many younger siblings, fell in love with the sport. Sitting in these stands watching her older brother. Tyler was 12 years older than her. She would always go to his games, fell in love with the diamond sports. Then when she became older, Tyler was one of the coaches on his team. Her team. He's not able to be here because he has to work. But before yesterday's game, Reagan had so many nerves that's who she called. She walked outside the dugout, called up Tyler. He had the perfect words of encouragement for her to kind of level her out. Their relationship so beautiful, and one of the main reasons she's out here today.
Wow, and that really worked because she, casually had 10 strikeouts yesterday to make it here to the championship game.
If she has felt nervous, I don't think that there has been one moment in this entire World Series that she has shown it. She has controlled her emotions so well from the first pitch to the last out of the last game to get here to the championship.
Yeah, she's really looked like she's been on a mission this entire week, and I saw her at regionals 2 weeks ago. It was the same sort of focus.
Starts with a change to Kennedy Nichols, who has been one of the top batters in Indiana's lineup, hitting .583 to lead them, and leads the World Series with 3 doubles.
Kennedy Nichols is a stud. I mean, both defensively and the way that she swings the bat with some authority. She always looks really calm. Another player, you can't tell if she's nervous or not because she's just so locked in, able to control her emotions.
Her favorite team is Marshall Softball. Three of her 7 hits for extra bases. And it feels like no matter what comes her way when she's playing third base, she's going to make the play happen.
Yeah. Super athletic.
Well, that's a big strikeout and really makes a statement to this Indiana offense too when a hitter like Kennedy Nichols goes down swinging. This is going to be a curveball with a little rise ball action to it. Got a foul tip right into the glove of Hines, who is able to hold on to it, but second strikeout.
Yeah, that's a big one. Like you said, it's only the 3rd time she's struck out all week.
A huge moment for Pennsylvania to start this inning. Kai Despain up now. Want your child to experience the teamwork and fun of Little League baseball or softball? Visit playlittleleague.org and enter your address to find a Little League community program near you. For Kai, who's at the plate, been around the sport for a while and Actually, it was last year. She was watching her brother Aiden going to the Junior League World Series last year, and now she gets to play in the Little League Softball World Series this year. Just past Reagan Bill's glove. Camilla Gaunt is there to back her up at second.
Oh, now that is awesome. A lot of times as a pitcher, you'll reach out for a ball, deflect it, and your middles won't be able to get to it. But Camilla Gaunt is in the perfect position, the second baseman. So it goes off the glove, ricochets over to Gaunt. She picks it up out at first, and you can just see the the glove love to each other. Nice defensive play.
Drew Drummond at the plate. You may have heard the crowd go, Drew, when she walks up to the plate. Her dad is J.R. Drummond, who's the manager of this Indiana team. Favorite celebrity, Hannah Montana.
It's a good choice.
It is a good choice.
Michelle, you mentioned the high fives that the defense give each other and the way that Drew Drummond, there's a manager over at third base coach's box, but that's such a big part of our softball culture, those handshakes that you have with each other, that you get an out, you do a certain thing with maybe the right fielder or the left fielder, and you make eye contact to stay engaged and create that team chemistry.
Absolutely.
You see that more with softball than baseball,
yes,
for sure. Celebrating every out and having a chance to make eye contact with your teammate for unique celebration.
I think it's part of the fun factor of softball, right? The cheers in the dugout.
Love it, love it.
3-1 count. Drew Drummond will take the free pass. Second free pass issued today by Reagan Bills. And brings up Reese Carroll.
Thibodeau is way up the third baseman, making sure nothing is going to get dropped in front of her. Both these squads have had some really unique defensive alignments, especially this Pennsylvania team.
Play in the middle of the field.
Out to right field. Reese Carroll means it's 2-on for Indiana.
How about Reese Carroll picking up her second hit of this World Series? This is a big one. Not many people have been able to barrel up Reagan Bills. She's got that great movement, but that smooth lefty swing, she just loops it out onto the green. Indiana trying to make something happen here against Pennsylvania.
Two on, two down for the pitcher, Briley Mercer.
Ooh, it's a good swing there. And pitchers have hit so well in the World Series. Well, these pitchers get a chance to hit for themselves with the continuous batting order and doing big-time damage. A lot of RBIs, big moments where they've been the one to step up that have helped themselves out.
The starting pitchers in the tournament are hitting .239. The overall tournament average coming into this game, .232.
Well, that just goes to show you how good the pitching has been in this tournament. A .232 batting average. I feel like feels a little bit low for what we normally see, but the pitching has been so good with every team.
This is our 22nd game. We've had 8 one-run games this week. A lot of them closer to the end of the week.
Now look at the split grip that she's got there. Really trying to get that top hand heavy, and you'll see that against rise ball pitchers a lot. So Mercer trying to get on top of anything that's up in the zone. Good eye, not chasing.
Well, she's a hitter, I think, too, Michelle, that just feels comfortable doing that, even against a non-rise ball pitcher. Like, she just has decided, I'm going to go to that split grip and stick with it all week and have that better barrel control. And it absolutely does help against a rise ball in the zone.
It feels a little bit sweeter when you strike out the opponent's pitcher. 3 strikeouts early on in this championship game for Reagan Bills, and we are scoreless. We'll be back in a moment after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Well, to do the honor of throwing out the first pitch, we were excited to have Minnie Mouse with us earlier today. She's visiting from Walt Disney World Resort in Florida, the most magical place on earth where everyone can be a kid, no matter who they are. And I think she did a pretty good job.
She did great. It's a strike, I mean, considering throwing with that. This looks like a little mousy hand.
Yeah.
Different glove
on your throwing hand.
Exactly.
Difficult. I did ask her pregame if she had been practicing. She said yes. She was very excited to be here.
Yay.
Definitely had some mini pizzazz.
Kennedy Fees takes the first pitch from Briley Mercer, and she grabs it.
Just continuing to go to the curveball against these righties. And we have seen this pitch all week, and it has so much movement. But this is what it's like to be in the right-handed batter's box, seeing this curveball out of her hand that just totally breaks away from you. So that's what a curveball in softball is going to look like. It's not going to slow down like with baseball. It's going to keep its speed, and a great break that Mercer has on this pitch away from righties today.
She'll now face Mallory Baylor. Briley Mercer has been the main arm for this Indiana team this week. Pitching now 27 innings.
Oh, and then followed with that changeup.
She's just solid. I mean, coming into today's game, she had thrown 448 pitches, but her form, we've talked about this earlier, her form is just so fluid. She's long, she gets extended. Both pitchers have great mechanics. You can tell they hone their craft.
Putting in the work. Paying attention to all the details of pitching mechanics. You can just tell.
Briley, of course, this team from Floyd's Knobs, Indiana. She drives to Cincinnati to do her pitching lessons, and the coaches just talk about how hard she works. And her dad, Brad Mercer, is one who calls the pitches for her. You guys, your parents called your pitches, or your dad did?
Yeah, my dad did.
Did you like that?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved him calling pitches.
Nobody called my pitches, sorry. Except for Karen Johns, who's our statistician behind us. She called a lot of pitches, but sorry, Dad. He called me a lot. Didn't call my pitches. But then again, I wasn't pitching at this age, so that was probably part of it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Michelle just told us this week. When did you start pitching?
15. Yeah, I didn't start
15. Wow.
So it's a little late to the game. But, I mean, I played the game. I just didn't pitch.
Won 2 gold medals.
Mercer family has known the Drummonds, particularly J.R. Drummond, for over 2 decades. That's because J.R. was Brad Mercer's high school coach back in 2003. There's Brad Mercer in the number 14 jersey, and J.R. Drummond, the manager on this team. In the top left, not to date you, J.R., but it's known the family for quite some time.
Yeah. Now coaching Brad's daughter, Briley. So great.
You can see he's using that one-way communication. Brad is on the left. He had the little microphone by his mouth. That is a one-way communication to the catcher where he can communicate with her, call pitches. Looks very official in the dugout with his headset on there.
Aubrey Baxter, hard shot to center. That's her first hit of the World Series, too.
Saving it for the big game. I love it. Awesome.
is one of the few mistakes that Mercer has made with that pitch, right over the heart of the plate, and Baxter just capitalizes on it. She is looking for a mistake. You don't know when you're going to get it against a great pitcher like Briley Mercer. She saw it, swung hard at it, got on with 2 outs.
A couple hits today for Pennsylvania off of Briley Mercer brings us to Haley Shepard. Her favorite celebrity is Benson Boone, which has become one of our favorites this week because we've been playing some of his music for you guys on the broadcast.
So good.
You know, there's not been a ton of offense at the end of this World Series as Briley Mercer is going to get the call on the check swing there for a strike. And the one thing about Pennsylvania's offense is that everybody has gotten in on the RBI action. Everybody has an RBI on their team except for one player. Spread all throughout.
Runner going, Baxter to second. Tag applied, Reese Carroll behind the plate making the throw.
Reese Carroll has been good this week. That's actually her second runner that she has thrown out. She's now 2 for 6 throwing out runners. Nice arm down, really good tag by Fiore, and we're out of the inning. Picking up the bats.
Let's take a look at the best in the game presented by T-Mobile.
You make dreams come true.
Ice water in her veins. Briley Mercer and this Indiana team are moving on.
The cardiac kids are doing it again.
Double-figure strikeouts now on the evening for Reagan Bills. Harmony White swinging. It is out of here. Harmony White walks it off with a bomb. Moments of the summer we will never forget at the Little League Softball World Series. We started last week, a week ago today, with 12 teams from around the world, and now these 2 teams, 2 of the best in the world, trying to be at the top of the summer in our championship game here, Pennsylvania and Indiana. Izzy Campbell leading off and swings at the first pitch that she gets from Reagan Bills, who has struck out 3.
This pitcher's duel that we thought it was going to be is off indeed to a little pitcher's duel, trying to shut down these offenses and keep them off the board.
I feel like the last 3 days have been a pitcher's duel. Every game that we've had.
Courtney may or may not have been wanting a little bit more offense.
I mean, I love a good hit, you know? Not that I don't enjoy watching some great pitching.
You know, though, it's been also the defense behind the pitchers that have really stepped up. You know, the ball has been put in play, but we've seen some great web gems. Some really good catching behind the dish.
There was a ton of offense in the first 12 games, and then the last 9 games just kind of shut down, only scoring 3.5 runs per game.
Evens it up 2-2.
He's really trying to pull that pitch in. Nice at bat. Campbell working at the full count.
Indiana left 2 on in the last inning.
Ooh. Hope he's okay.
Yeah.
The umpire real hard. Nobody checked on him except for Addie Hines.
Yeah.
He gave a thumbs up real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back-to-back Ks for Bills.
Reagan Bills has just been outstanding all week long with this pitch. The way she's going to blend it on the outer half, that curveball. Love the way that Hines is going to pull it back into the zone. Campbell with a little bit of a dance because she's like, oh, I probably should have gone and gotten that. Getting rid of it. Big strikeout for the game.
And it's interesting. You saw the big reaction from Reagan Bills. You were asking her where that came from, Amanda.
Yeah, and she said it came from watching college girls and the pro women. I say girls, I'm still a girl myself, but watching the college women and the professional women play with the AUSL. And just kind of wanting to emulate them. And what's cool is that I'm sure she always felt that emotion inside of her, but maybe suppressed it, but saw how these college pitchers celebrate outs with their catchers and fist pump and get their team into it. And that's who she wanted to be like.
Yeah, you look at Montana Fouts with a lot of emotion. Nigel Kennedy. I mean, there are so many pitchers that they celebrate great pitches. They celebrate strikeouts. I love it.
Every pitcher will have their own personality out there, that's for sure. And Briley Mercer on the other side, a little bit more stoic than Bills.
Big swing from Aubrey Whittemore for strike 2. Bills has struck out 3 in a row.
Well, and we were talking about, Michelle, you were talking about the great mechanics of both of these pitchers. And when they get to this position at the top of their arm circle, look at how similar they are with their length of their arm, their glove hand, how their hips get open. I mean, all of it kind of look very similar to each other. You can tell Reagan Bills is a little bit taller, but that middle position, that's like a power position for a pitcher. Great mechanics by both of them to get open and then be able to use their hips whenever they stride out.
And that's the ironic part of pitching, is that we start with everything together on that pitching rubber, and then we get everything spread out as far as possible, and then we bring it all back together at release.
And look at how she just did the motion, and you can't see us in the booth, but Michelle just did the motion left-handed, and it looked just like how they do it. So if you compared Michelle to them, they would look just like Michelle, who was an Olympian in that position, that power position, so important for a pitcher. And that's what you can really tell. They've been putting in the body control work, the core work, the arm circle work to be able to get here to this position.
Love it.
Kylie Ramsey now up against Reagan Bills.
The other thing it does for these pitchers is it keeps them efficient, right? And the more efficient you are, the more energy and power that you get. And that's why both these pitchers have been able to throw so well this entire week. They haven't run out of gas.
So true.
This is the 27th inning that Reagan Bills has thrown.
And we all know, too, people get captivated with underhand pitching. There's just something so unique about it. You're used to watching MLB players throw overhand and pitch overhand. Everybody throws overhand in baseball, but in softball, there's one position that throws differently, and that's the pitcher. It's so unique.
Ramsey taking some healthy cuts.
She's looking for her first hit of the World Series. Kylie Ramsey actually got to go to the Women's College World Series this year. She went to a few games because her travel ball team was playing a tournament there. What an experience to see that big stage.
Incredible. Record crowds, record ratings.
And on the 7th pitch, she will walk.
I would have loved to have had a tournament around the World Series, because then I'm going to watch these college athletes play, and I would try to emulate them in my games. Like, I would be even more inspired to show up for my team at my games, trying to be just like them. Take what I learned and the motivation and put it to my own game.
Bottom of the order, the center fielder, Olivia Kolish. She told us her dream job was to be an optometrist.
I even saw some put down anesthesiologist, and they spelt it right. And I don't even think that I knew what that was when I was 11 or 12 years old. Nevertheless, how to spell such a difficult word. Big dreams, different dreams.
Yeah. I learned a lot from reading all the questionnaires the athletes fill out.
Well, apparently some of the parents did as well with their children, like where they want to go on vacation and their dream vacation. Wow.
Where they want to, or apparently where they will be going.
Will be going, exactly.
Manifesting in the questionnaires.
The best.
Kolish lifting it towards third. Sadie Divido scoops it. And Indiana leaves a runner on. No score. Welcome back to the Little League Softball World Series presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Well, earlier today, before this championship, Pennsylvania got a special message.
Congratulations on all of your success so far, and good luck today.
I just wanted to wish you guys good luck in the Little League World Series.
Make sure to play hard, take it all in, and most importantly, have fun with your team.
Just reaching out to say good luck to Team Pennsylvania at the Little League World Series.
We are.
How about Penn State softball reaching out to the Little Leaguers from Pennsylvania?
That's Clarissa Crowell, the head coach at Penn State, and several of the players there. It's a big deal.
Huge deal.
These players are pretty famous now.
Representing their states, so their institutions.
And for this Indiana team, their manager, J.R. Drummond, told us that he got a text from Rachel Lawson, the Kentucky head coach, after they won their regional.
And J.T. D'Amico was an assistant at Georgia. Michelle and I got a text from the Indiana head coach, Shauna Stanton. And Coach Drummond's daughter, Peyton, plays at Indiana, so she's locked in for multiple reasons. Drew Drummond's older sis there.
Right. That's awesome.
I think we've seen a little nerves from her at times this week.
Peyton Drummond has been loving every moment of this tournament. First of all, nervous as all get out. She's like, this is way more nervous watching than even playing in it. But, you know, she got to take pictures with the Japan team, and after they lost, she went up to them and gave them hugs and hard hands. Like, she has enjoyed this as much as anyone else out here.
So great. It's just the atmosphere, right, Chris? Chris gets to be out in all of it, right? Seeing and feeling it all. There's a couple of the Japanese players.
Yeah, she mentioned Team Japan, and they have formed a friendship with this Indiana team. Indiana was actually the one that eliminated Japan, but they have just got to know each other off the field, and that was something that Drew Drummond, the manager for Indiana, put an emphasis on. He said, look, our goal every day before we get to the World Series, I want to let you girls know we're going to play great softball every day, but I also want you to meet someone new every day. And they have formed a friendship with Team Japan, who is here cheering them on.
So great.
Haley Shepard behind 0-2 to Kylie Mercer in the circle.
They've been really close, and even Indiana knocked Japan out of the tournament in an elimination game, a one-run game. They beat Japan 1-0. It came down to a runner at third base, 60 feet away from tying up the game, and Bradley Mercer threw the last out.
Right after Indiana clinched their spot in this championship game, they left the field and then they came over and they hugged the Japan team and they said, this is why we did it. We wanted to win for you guys. This was after they eliminated Japan, all the tears, but then all the smiles. And Japan has just hung around cheering on. This is the moment after Indiana clinched being in this championship game.
Yeah, that was yesterday. So cool to see. Love it.
The epitome of Little League softball, right? Sportsmanship, it's having fun, it's life lessons on the field and meeting people off the field.
Well, and they're even wearing the central shirts in support of Indiana.
Probably was trading.
Grace Fiore flashing the leather at shortstop.
She was moving that way.
That's all positioning, right? She's up the middle, near the bag, and she just reads it immediately, Amanda. Wow.
She's a little stud, too,
yes.
Fiore. She had to come into the game and finish it, a tight one, in order to get here to the championship game. She can pitch, too. She pitches behind Mercer. They have a great relationship.
Yeah, just stepped right in the circle and got it done for Indiana. Whittemore just took over at first base, and she'll make a play. No score here in our championship. No score in our championship game here at the Little League Softball World Series, heading to the top of the 4th inning. Little League stats are provided by Game Changer, the official scorekeeping and stats technology partner of Little League and the Little League World Series. Game Changer provides free live streaming for regular season local youth games, plus automatic video highlight clips when you stream and score your games. It's all about the pitchers in this game so far. And Amanda, you want to compare Reagan Bills? Or Michelle, you want to compare Reagan Bills to somebody?
Well, yeah. I mean, she talked about how much she loved Montana Fouts. And look at their form. It's very similar, the emotion. And this is what I love seeing her at the end of her pitches, pointing at her catcher. And when I saw her a couple weeks ago up at the regional tournament in Bristol, you could just tell she had been to her camps. She had really emulated her. And then let's compare her. Look at her strikeout percentage compared to Montana Fouts and Nigeri Kennedy.
Yeah,
Amanda.
striking out 1 out of every 2 hitters that she faces, Reagan Bills is, compared to Montana and Niger. It's a measly 1 out of every 30. You know,
so great.
Joking when I said that. An incredible strikeout percentage for Fouts and Kennedy, of course, but just shows you how good Reagan Bills has been here. I mean, when you look at the number of strikeouts that she's had for the entire tournament, she is in the tops of the tops that we've ever had here compete at the World Series.
And how important it is for an athlete like Bills to meet Montana Fouts. Goes to her camp, gets to ask her questions, gets to emulate her. However, her favorite team is the Tennessee Volunteers.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Of course, I knew that would make you very happy, Courtney.
Well, I do think she said favorite athlete was Montana Fouts. Favorite player was Carlin Pickens. So just spreading the love to everybody.
Exactly.
Both excellent choices.
Absolutely.
Carlin Pickens, the pitcher for Tennessee, just past the left fielder, and Sawyer Abel's wasting no time. Still going, looking for 3. She's got it.
Oh, and he's going to call her out.
Yeah. She's actually, unfortunately, going to be out of the box. Sawyer Abel, that was a great swing, but the home plate umpire was just right on top of it immediately, and she's going to be out because as a slapper, she's running through the box, and we see this with slappers trying to cover the outside corner, that her left foot will step across and come out of the box. That on-ball contact, you can see her foot.
Right there. It's out of the box.
It's a beautiful swing, more of a power slap. Haven't seen that from her, but the home plate umpire right in front of him, and it's going to call her out.
Yeah, and from that first look, you could see the umpire's eyes. He looked down, and he saw it immediately. It's a good call. That's a tough call on Abel, but it is the right call.
Wow, so how does Indiana bounce back from that after such an exciting brief moment? Scarlett Wren in the box now, a 376 hitter this week.
Well, it could be a wake-up call if you're in the circle when that happens, because your heart stops for a second when you see that ball come off the bat, get past your outfielder, and you see that hitter running. Like, oh no, a leadoff triple to start this inning. Ugh. And then all of a sudden she's gone, and it really is this wake-up call of like, okay, this second time through, they're going to be a little bit more on me.
100%. Second time through, you need to start pulling out that change of speed, mixing things up.
She's had so much success here. I mean, think about how much she's pitched and only given up 1 run, and that was to a Connecticut team that's still home against her. That is the only way that people have been able to score any runs off of Reagan Bills in this tournament.
Hops at Kennedy Fees at short. Scarlett Wren is safe.
On Indiana making some adjustments, Amanda. You can tell they're striking the ball hard in this inning. Defensively, probably should have had that out, but still, ball's coming off the bat hard.
I think you're right about needing to use that changeup a little bit more.
And they rule it an error, which allows Scarlett Wren to reach for Grace Fiore. Second time up against Reagan Bills. Hines. Oh. Just off the end of her glove.
Defense can really see. Look at how the right side is going to be really far back, but you've got the left side up in case they try to drop anything down.
Yeah, we have seen some very unusual defensive shifts in this tournament.
Kennedy Fees, a shortstop's more up the middle. Camilla Gaunt, second baseman. Worthington now in at first is deep.
For Grace Fiore at the plate. Hines calling for it.
So good.
Well, Worthington was 2 miles away because she was playing so far off the line.
She was in right field.
And so Hines knew that.
Yes.
She knew where her first baseman was playing and how she had to react to track down that ball. It was in the air for just long enough. But Worthington, she's out playing shallow right field, and Hines said, no worries, I got it. I almost had the one before, so this time I'm actually going to come away with the out. Great effort by Hines.
Amazing.
And now the top hitter in the Indiana lineup, Kennedy Nichols. First pitch finds the dirt. Diving back to the bag is Kennedy Fees.
How about the D in this inning, Amanda? It's been outstanding. We've talked a lot about Bills and her strikeouts, but it's been the defense.
This is so much fun. Kennedy Fees off the energy of Hines, lays out for that force at 2. The Pennsylvania defense stepping up even when Bills doesn't get the K.
Welcome back to the Little League Softball World Series, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. You want to see some girls with game? We got it. Tune in to yet another exciting summer of softball and visit littleleaguesoftball.org for great content, information about starting a softball league, and more. Courtney Lyle, Amanda Scarborough, Michelle Smith, and Chris Budden with you from Greenville, North Carolina. The Little League Softball World Series Championship game. Pennsylvania and Indiana, and it's been all about the pitchers so far. No score. As we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, Pennsylvania grabbing the bats. 11, 12, and 1 will be due up in this continuous batting order. Everybody on your roster is on your lineup card. Mara Keith leading off. Big Green Day fan. Haven't seen that one put down in a while on the questionnaires they fill out for us.
Exactly.
Let's see Avril Lavigne as well, and I just go right back to the 90s. See Green Day
Here for
and
it.
Avril. Yeah, it's great.
For this Pennsylvania team, they had to play their regional in Bristol, Connecticut. They went 4-0 there, and then guess what? They've gone 4-0 here this week at the World Series. Riley Mercer gets her to swing on a change.
Wow. That was a big-time pitch, and we saw her use it a lot at the beginning of the game. Kind of went away from it a little bit. She's bringing it back out.
I had a feeling she was going to go right back to it.
She's good at throwing it back-to-back as a setup and then an out pitch.
All of her strikeouts have been on the changeup. This is number 5. She's been able to throw it down in the dirt like that to Reese Carroll, keeping it in front. She's been able to throw it through the zone for a strike when she needs to. She just has great command of that pitch right now. 13 swings and misses for Briley.
Sadie Thibodeau, the bottom of the order for Pennsylvania. Right at the start of this game, she was confident in that changeup.
Pennsylvania is just not picking that changeup up at all.
Just over the head of the second baseman goes Sadie Thibodeau.
Because of something like that, Michelle, I might throw this changeup every other pitch at this point.
Yeah.
They can't lay off of it.
100%, because you can't hit it if you can't identify it. Something hard on the inner half, and Thibodeau just gets her barrel to it, and sometimes it's all it takes. You know, it's a half swing, but she finishes it up, and by finishing it, she gets it to loop out onto the outfield.
Top of the order, Camilla Gaunt up for the second time. Swings at the change.
Came up as 57 on the radar, but that was Thibodeau. It's like, this is how she looked, how she got to that pitch. I don't know. Barely got her hands inside that inside pitch.
Camilla Gaunt came into the day hitting .444 this week and leading Pennsylvania in hits. She was trying to figure out the change piece.
And throw it again.
Yeah. So you can prove that they're going to hit it. You've got to keep throwing it. And as a hitter, you've got to prove that you can see it, do something with it. Even if you're bunting it or slapping it. Corners are deep.
And now she's going to go back to it. Something hard inside. Now maybe throw that changeup away.
Thibodeau is safe at first.
Good job by Carroll. Nice snap throw down.
Lester Gaunt, the manager for this Pennsylvania team, got his daughter in the box right now trying to talk her through this. Towards Kennedy Nichols at third. Camilla Gaunt gets there. Back-to-back reach.
And we wanted that changeup, you and I both. We wanted it again earlier in the count, in a 1-2 count, or even in the 2-2, where she could have tried to bounce it in. But in a full count, she has to throw it up and through the zone. And Gaunt did a great job of swinging with 2 strikes, protecting, hitting the ball on the ground. We've seen a lot of success when hitters put the ball on the ground.
So the error allows Gaunt to reach. Now Reagan Bills, the pitcher, steps in. Picked up a hit her first time facing Briley Mercer in the first inning. She's had 3 RBI this week to lead Pennsylvania. I'd say she's had a complete week.
Impressive.
No earned runs at 28 innings pitched. I don't care who you're pitching against. That is impressive. And your defense is playing well behind you, too.
Pitch will run the count full.
She keeps getting ahead, 0-2, 1-2, and is just having trouble with that put-away pitch right now.
Oh, hard hit ball up the middle. Runner coming home. Pennsylvania strikes first. Reagan Bills again making it happen with her bat.
How about the at-bat? Going to drive that ball right back up the middle. That is a clean base hit on a full count to change up, and she's not fooled by it. The throw comes in. It gets away from Reese Carroll. A little bit of a slip coming around third, but she trucks on in. That is a big first run of this championship game.
And what has been a pitcher's duel, every run is magnified.
So much credit to Thibodeau, the 12-hole hitter who got on to start this rally. And the at-bats have just been gritty by Pennsylvania in this fourth inning.
And still just one out with Addie Hines up at the plate, 2 in scoring position. Gaunt at third, Bills at second.
That's a big-time pitch coming in underneath the hands. You mentioned it, Amanda. Mercer's gotten ahead 0-2 to a lot of these hitters, and Pennsylvania's just done a good job of figuring out a way to get on, put the ball in play.
Riley Mercer comes back with a strikeout.
Just up and in on the hands again, went right at her screwball. That is a great pitch. 2 runners in scoring position after giving up that hit to Bills to score a run. She needed that K.
Nevaeh Worthington. Gaunt at third, Bills at second as Pennsylvania tries to add to their lead.
Another run would be massive here for Pennsylvania. Every run feels like another mountain to climb.
Absolutely. Nice pitch. And that changeup becomes more effective when you start throwing on the inner half. She's been throwing that curveball on the outer half a lot. Typically on a curveball, you want to let it travel. On a changeup, you want to let it travel to identify it. You come inside, it just exacerbates that change in speed, that effective velocity.
Oh, did she go? First base umpire says no. 2-2.
Really good at bat.
Mercer gets out of it with a strikeout, but look at the scoreboard. Pennsylvania has taken the lead.
Well, Reagan Bills told us, you guys, that she wanted to compete here at the World Series when she was 6 years old. That dream was implanted. Now she's thrown a shutout in the championship game and just got an RBI to score.
J.R. Drummond, who's a high school softball coach and a teacher, talking to this Floyd Snobs, Indiana softball team here in the World Series championship game.
I love it. It's like, go get it. You know, they're not going to just roll over and give it to you. So if you're going to score some runs, you got to work hard and push a run across.
Well, Little League would like to extend a special thank you to its official sponsors, Athletes Unlimited Softball League and Easton Softballs. Official sponsor support allows Little League to create experiences for communities, volunteers, and young athletes all season long. Little League would also like to thank its dedicated volunteers who make the program a special experience for millions of children around the world. Pennsylvania took the lead in the bottom of the 4th inning, and now Kai Despain will lead off here in the 5th. As they try to play catch up. Sadie Thibodeau going back.
It's good footwork.
Going to go back on this. Has to worry about, like, where's the bag? I know it's getting close to it. Okay, avoid it. Keep my eye on the ball. And Bills, she knows that every out at this point is big. She's counting them down.
Drew Drummond. You heard the crowd chant Drew as she steps in. And her sister Peyton, who plays for Indiana. Let's go, Drew! The university. She's little sister's playing for the state right now. Drew's somebody that's really kept the energy up for this Indiana Little League team. Her dream job to be a kindergarten teacher. Both of her parents are teachers. Looking to her dad. She steps back in. Underneath it towards left center, and a miscommunication in the outfield allows Drew Drummond to reach.
That could be the open door that Indiana needs. Pennsylvania has played such great defense, but those balls that are hit in between two outfielders are in the air for a long time. Both players calling it, but Indiana loving the fact that they got somebody on trying to answer back and respond.
Now can Reese Carroll help her at the plate? Takes the first pitch foul. I want to let you know our next ESPN WNBA game Tuesday night, 7:30 Eastern. We'll have Paige Beckers and the Wings taking on Kelsey Mitchell, Leah Boston and the Fever. Coverage tips with the Countdown crew at 7.
Indiana has to capitalize on this right here. They've had runners on in every inning except for the first, but has not been able to move them over. Have not gotten a runner past second base against Reagan Bills. She's been so good.
And Reese Carroll at the plate has the only hit. Tying run is at first.
Now Pennsylvania going to pull back in defensively. Miller gone to second baseman, and there they are again. You can see second baseman is in. Thibodeau at third is in. Nice pitch on the outer half to bring it to full.
Milligan, even with 2 strikes, is staying up where Reese Carroll is going to swing away. She needs to back up here.
They're backing up a little bit.
Yeah.
Change up. It's a good job by Reese Carroll to fight that off.
7th pitch coming to Reese Carroll. Clutch, Reagan Bills.
Wow. Couple of big pitches, outer half, change up, and then works to the outer half at the knees. Great job by Hines behind. Look at the frame up on this. That is a well-located pitch. The energy, the emotion. That is 50 strikeouts on the week for Bills.
50 strikeouts on 109 batters faced.
Well, the other reason that that's such a huge out is that there's a defensive error. It's easy to, things to start to spiral out of control, and she shuts it down immediately. She's like, taking back control of the situation.
To Riley Mercer.
Well, and pitchers will keep track of that stat too, that after somebody reaches, what are you doing? Oh, that's going to happen. You're going to walk people, errors, hits, all the things. But what do you do that next hitter? And in this game, there's only been one time where back-to-back hitters have reached, and that was back in the second. But besides that, she has been so good about somebody reaching and then going right at the next hitter.
Four balls, though, to Briley Mercer. So now the tying run at second, the go-ahead run at first for Indiana.
That's the third walk of the game.
She is in good company with these pitchers that we have seen pitch here in Greenville. Ainsley Johnson from Louisiana.
Just the 4th since 2021 to hit 50 or more strikeouts in the Little League Softball World Series.
The other thing she has in common with them, quite a few of those are champions. Winning this championship game.
Major opportunity for Izzy Campbell here. Struck out last time up. Got the tying and the go-ahead run on.
Running that chain.
She is just such a pitcher and player that pays attention to all the details. You can just tell she's very analytical, watches softball all the time, studies it.
Yeah.
Error and a walk have put 2 on here for Indiana.
It's a great take by Izzy Campbell. There's a big pitch coming up.
Feel the tension.
Izzy loving it. Holds strong and the bases are loaded.
She's not getting that curveball called as much on the outside corner, and it's tough to see because our center field cameras are at a little bit of an angle. They're not directly behind the pitcher, so that outside corner sometimes looks like it should be called a strike, but maybe a little bit off.
Fires in the first pitch strike to Aubrey Whittemore.
That is a big first pitch strike. Bases loaded. You've walked a couple batters. She too is getting a pitch call from her dad, who's calling pitches for her inside the Pennsylvania dugout, Rick. So a couple of dad pitcher combos here.
One, two, the tying run just 60 feet away. Hasn't allowed an earned run in her last 23 2/3 innings. A monster opportunity for Indiana, and Bills shuts them down, grabs it out of midair.
How about the changeup in a massive pressure situation, Amanda? That is a huge pitch with the bases loaded. Changeup on the outer half. It gets rifled right back at her, and she makes the catch, slams it down. Dad is loving it in the dugout. This Pennsylvania team is pumped. Reagan Bills. Woo!
Indiana had the bases loaded, and this pitch comes right back at Reagan Bills. You can feel the energy from her, and so could her hometown American Legion Post 506 cheering on as they say, Pennsylvania, get out of that inning.
Yeah, Reagan Bills is going to be signing more autographs when she gets back home to Pennsylvania. And these PA fans, they love their sports. They've been supporting this team since day one, not just in the championship game, from the very beginning.
Reagan Bills battling through some extra free passes in that inning to get out of it.
A chance now for Pennsylvania to add to their lead with Kennedy Fees coming up to the plate. Such a unique story. She suffers from type 1 diabetes. She wears a CGM and a pump that her mom, Amber, can monitor for her. But she uses that diagnosis to help other children that suffer also from type 1. They have a softball tournament every summer called Strikeout Diabetes. The money that they use from it, they help put together boxes that have toys and crayons and other art supplies to help kids that are at local hospitals that are also have type 1 diabetes. When I talked to her mom this week, Amber said, I think the hardest thing about this week is that they're living in the dorms. It's the first time she's ever slept away from me. So if I get something on my phone that says that her levels are low, I have to text her. I have to trust parents that they're going to help her. But it's been a chance really for Kennedy to kind of learn what it will be like when she's on her own.
Yeah, It's so great how she's inspiring others and just keeps pushing forward. Both of her siblings also have type 1 diabetes. Pops that one into the glove of Kennedy Nichols.
She's been an inspiration this whole week and even back to the regional whenever we got a chance to meet her a little bit more. Kennedy Feast is awesome. Love that story.
Mallory Baylor, as Pennsylvania will try to add any insurance runs they can. And after the inning we just saw from Indiana, anything would help. Jammed up, and Whittemore scoops it. Tonight's Sunday Night Baseball matchup, series finale between the Cubs and the Cardinals, 7 Eastern, ESPN Deportes, ESPN Radio with another StatCast edition on ESPN2. Our coverage begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with Baseball Tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. I don't know, Sunday Night Baseball. We got a pretty good one here, Bruin.
Right.
Our Little League Softball World Series Championship game. You say Aubrey Baxter did not go. Picked up her first hit of the series in the second inning of this game. Her dream is to meet Simone Biles. And I think it's interesting the reason why she wants to meet Simone Biles. She's also a gymnast and went through the twisties like Simone had. And so she wants to pick her brain.
Yeah.
About how she overcame that.
That's amazing.
But there'd be a lot of great insight. You can talk to Simone Biles, I feel like, about a lot of different things.
Yeah. It's almost like the yips for a baseball or softball player, right? When your brain gets a little bit confused and you have to figure out a way to work your way through it. It's rarely a straight path up to wherever it is you're trying to get, right? Whether or not it's Little League World Series, a college national championship, an Olympic gold medal. You usually have to battle through something to get to where you want to go.
It really shows you how strong you actually are.
100%.
Seventh pitch coming to Aubrey Baxter. She walks.
Now batting number 15, Haley Shepard.
It's actually a really big walk for Baxter because it's the first given up in the game by Mercer, but it also keeps the pressure on a little bit, gives Bills opportunity to spend a little more time in the dugout after a long inning in the fifth. To have a bottom of the fifth, that's a 1-2-3 inning, doesn't give her a lot of rest.
Not gonna lie, it was always during this time I kind of just wanted to get back out there ASAP. Yeah. Those final 3 outs, like, all right, if we're not gonna score here, then can I just get back out there real quick and get these final outs? It's just been a long week too.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're right. That extra 5 minutes, 4 minutes of a little bit of rest really matters. They've been playing games for a week now, and she's been pitching a ton for them.
3 balls and a strike. Riley Mercer facing Haley Shepard.
Nice pitch on a 3-1 count to get the foul ball and bring it back to full. actually ball 4. So Baxter, she was confused, but it worked out for her.
Wow. It was ball 4, and then the ball shot out to center field.
So this is what happens. Baxter should be running on this pitch, but she doesn't really see that it's ball 4 and that Carroll throws down, and she's going to pause in the middle of the baseline. So you can see she's at first, and then right here, look at the way she kind of pauses. She's like, oh, wait, what's going on? And then it goes into the outfield because she thinks, Carroll thinks that she's stealing. Well, she just keeps going, and it worked out well for her.
So she's going to advance to third on the error. And that means a little insurance run just 60 feet away for Pennsylvania.
I think when that throw went down, she was like, wait, was that not ball 4? You know, and that's why she stopped.
Yes. And it was ball 4.
Yes. She did good.
So I would have loved to have been in her brain. Totally. She saw the ball go to the outfield. I'm like, I'm just going to keep going. Risky, but big risk, big reward.
2 walks in a row. Bring us to Kendall Schilling. She had a hard hit ball to the shortstop last time up. Can she bring home this runner on third? Call her a dependable all-around player for Team PA. Good hold.
And important to note, too, as we get to the last inning of this game, that there's no pitch count for Little League softball for pitching eligibility like there is for Little League baseball. So they go by innings pitched. So if you pitch 7 or more innings, then you have to have a day of rest. But 6 innings or fewer, you can pitch every day. That outside corner has kind of felt like it shrunk here late in the game, and both of these pitchers rely on that curveball, so outside to the right-handed hitters not getting called as much, putting more pressure on them to be fine.
Briley Mercer gets that K. 2 left on for Pennsylvania. Indiana down to its final 3 outs. Can Reagan Bills and her Pennsylvania defense get 3 more outs? The Little League Softball World Series on ESPN is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. So much hard work, dedication over the last year for these 2 teams, and it comes down to this. The state of Indiana has never won a Little League Softball World Series title. Pennsylvania, their only title was back in 1978. Head to the top of the 6th inning. Pennsylvania needing 3 more outs to win a championship. And Reagan Bills got out of a jam in the last inning when she was up in the 5th. 11, 12, and 1 due up for Indiana, starting with Kylie Ramsey. Reagan Bill's outstanding in the circle, but her bat too, guys, impressive.
Most RBIs on the team. I mean, helping out her own cause. Look at that, no earned runs.
I mean, she's just been so clutch. Those 4 RBIs feel like they've just come at pivotal moments because every game has felt so close.
Indiana had the bases loaded in the 5th, but hit a ball right back to Reagan Bills for out number 3 and left them loaded.
These last outs are always the toughest to get, but I mean, when you look at the scores, they've had 2 one-run wins already. She's used to pitching in these close games like this. She's never seemed like she has felt the pressure.
Ramsey, last time she was up, 7-pitch at bat, drew the walk. Slow roller to Nevaeh Worthington, sprints over and 1 away.
It's a big out after that great at bat by Kylie Ramsey.
Indiana will now look for a spark from Olivia Kolish at the bottom of their order.
Working from ahead.
So you don't have to do anything.
Harmony White with that Oklahoma team who had that outstanding series, winning that 3rd place. Great pitcher out here watching.
Olivia Kolish, an 0-2 count facing Reagan Bills.
Changeup doesn't bite at it. It's a good take by Kolsch.
Indiana trying to get something going here. Olivia Kolish. She's got a full count.
Both of these at-bats have been so good to not make it easy on Reagan Bills. Trying to finish off this game.
Yeah, started out 0-2 and has battled back to a full count.
Got her looking.
Looked like she she took a little something off of that pitch and hit the inside corner. Just froze Kolish because Bills loves to go to that outside corner, but went in there for the second out.
The crowd knows it. 1 out away for Pennsylvania. Top of the order for Indiana, Sawyer Abel. Addie Hines tried to pop up so fast.
Yeah, she did, and I think she was debating, do I dive, do I not, can I get it on my feet? Great effort, great effort. Hard down the line. Remember her last at bat, she had a triple down the line. She stepped out though when she made contact, so she was called out. But looking to drive the ball hard the opposite way.
She needs to be really careful with 2 strikes. She knows she's going to be still slapping, running through the box, and you just don't want the game to end that way. So much to think about right now, so much pressure on her. Fight for her team.
To left, and the championship is going home with the kids from PA. Pennsylvania, your 2025 Little League Softball World Series champions. Both of these teams have had incredible summers and a heck of a battle in this championship.
You can tell Reagan Bills just can't believe it. She's wanted this since she was 6 years old, through 4 shutouts in a row. Indiana only had 1 hit off of her in the championship game.
Just an amazing, amazing week for Reagan Bills and this entire Pennsylvania team. World Series champions.
I mean, we knew runs were going to come at a premium, but a 1-0 championship game for the 2nd year in a row, guys.
She only gave up 1 run the entire World Series, Reagan Bills did. And it was that first game against the Connecticut team. That was them stealing home against her.
It wasn't even earned. Incredible. Pitch on the outer half.
Baxter with the grab. Bills' parents watching on, mom in the stands, dad calling her pitches. And Reagan, now a champion, is with Chris.
Reagan, wiping tears away from your eyes. World Series champion. What you feeling right now?
I don't know. I can't believe it.
What has made this group of girls from Pennsylvania so special?
Just our teamwork and our energy and coming together so quickly. Some of
of us didn't know them at all, and we just became friends so fast.
You know, the unique thing about Little League is that you get to do it with a family. We mentioned your mom in the crowd yesterday. Your dad calls your pitches. What has this experience been like to do it with your friends and your family?
It's been awesome. Like, I've been watching since I was 5, and I didn't think this was possible.
You've been watching. You had some amazing performances. You set a goal last year, 15 strikeouts. You did that. You set a goal. You win a championship. What's been the best part of this whole experience?
Just getting to do it with my team and my dad and my community and my mom and everything.
You're a champion. Go celebrate, Reagan.
Thank you.
Yes, she is. These kids from Johnstown, PA, are World Series champions. The first championship for Pennsylvania since 1978.
Incredible. It's an amazing week.
A fantastic week here in Greenville, North Carolina, ends with Pennsylvania taking home the championship. We'll be back in just a moment. PA, your champs.